Paradigm Review Show. Welcome to the channel. Mac the Critic, Gas, Mosh, Raymay, the Barhat Captain. Today we have Invincible 2021 action animated. Robert Kirkman, Fire. Our boy Raymay from over at the Barhat put us on this. So tell us about this one, bro. How'd you find it, and what do you think?
Oh yeah, so I found it maybe I would say about a year ago. One of my homies put me on actually. The trailer for the animated series came out. He was like, "Yo, you need to go read the comic. Like I know you're mostly a manga person, but you would like this." And I trusted that friend, so I went and read it. And man, like the comic series is amazing. But I think for this, like, and this might sound blasphemous to some people, but I think for this intro of the story, like, I kind of like how the animated series did it a little more. Robert Kirkman, obviously a genius. He did this, also The Walking Dead. You know, many people like that. Yeah, man, it's a great series. You know, I love everything superheroes, but I think this takes the genre and it kind of sets it in a realistic tone, but it's kind of like imitated of like what a DC universe would be like. You know, it's kind of like some people call it animated The Boys, but I think it's more like, because I think The Boys is more satirical. I think this is more just taking the genre and like putting a twist on it.
Yeah, no, for sure. You had me right at the R rating and the completely unhinged. You know, I guess like if it was DC, it would have to be something like Doom Patrol or something like that is just like outlandish and you know what I mean, out of control. Definitely like just the total. Right off the bat, there's some amazing voice work. There's J.K. Simmons, of course. While I was pressing that, it just went away. Zazie Beetz is in there. Walton Goggins is in there. He was Cecil Stedman. You know Goggins. That dude is amazing.
Oh yeah, that's the Shield.
Justified. Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff, and then he's in
Justified also. Yeah,
like House of a Thousand Corpses, Hateful Eight. Obviously Zachary Quinto is Robot. Did you guys pick that up?
Yeah.
Hilarious. Then I think isn't Mark Hamill in there somewhere? I think he's a villain.
He's Art, the costume designer.
Yeah. Clancy Brown, dude from Highlander. Mark Hamill. Yeah, there's man.
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah, he's gonna be Blade, which you know it's gonna be Blade PG-13, but we'll see how it goes.
Glenn from The Walking Dead. I don't know the actual actor's name.
Yeah, he's the
isn't he the main character?
Yeah, he's
the main character.
Yeah.
And then I can't think of the mom's name either.
Who?
I can't think of the mom's name either, but she's in
Sandra Oh.
Yeah, she's in like all sorts of shit my mom watches.
Yeah, Sandra Oh, Stephen Yoon. Yep. Nah, it's fire, man. I was it was lit. Let's get on to these episodes. But yeah, I like the whole kind of alternate, you know, more violent DC universe. That first episode is ridiculous. It pops off pretty extreme, high octane. Looks to me like they have seasons 2 and 3 slated here on IMDb. I don't know if you got any news on that or if that's
that's it. It's been confirmed by Kirkman and Amazon that there will be a season 2 and 3 for sure.
That'll be a season 2.
The comic is about 144 issues, something like that.
For sure. I would like to check the comic out. I mean, again, Walking Dead was amazing, and then the problem was it kept going even after that, and it just went a little bit too long. So I wouldn't want to see that happen to this, but I don't think it will because this is quite a different format. You know what I mean? So
yeah, well, Walking Dead came with like I don't even know how many books or how many comics.
A lot. Yeah.
So it's kind of a long series.
And what's crazy? I didn't find this out. I was actually watching Kevin Smith. I was watching Fat Man on Batman. And Robert Kirkman was on there, and he actually said that for a time he was working on both Invincible and Walking Dead at the same time.
Wow. Nice.
That must have been a challenge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'd be difficult to say which one I like more, and I'd probably have to go back and revisit the Walking Dead books. I suppose those are a lot better than the show, especially in the later issues. So what do we deal with here? You got your man Mark Grayson. He finally inherits his powers from his superhero father late. This is episode 1. You know, the whole training thing, and then pretty much I think when they drop us in, isn't that when that scene pops off where Omni-Man just offs his whole squad, which are the original heroes, I guess.
Yeah.
The Guardians of the Globe.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. That whole first episode was a great introduction to it all. I mean, even at that, like, I'm gonna be 100 with you guys. When I saw the first episode, I'm like, you know, I mean, it's a good watch, but you know, when's it gonna get more, exciting, and then once it hit that ending, oof.
Yeah, I mean, I think it does though. I mean, I think it the intensity increases as the episodes go. At least that's how it was for me. We can revisit.
But they turned it to the max at the end, man. Let's be.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That one hit me right there. Omni-Man just, man.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm interested to know, you guys watched this sort of like after like everybody memed Invincible. Did you catch any of that like first big fight scene like on social media before you seen this?
I don't think so. I mean, I might have seen a little bit of that stuff you guys post in the comic strip, but those posts fly by at warp speed. So I didn't even, if I did see it, I didn't even know what it was. You know what I mean? Because I had never heard of it until you told me about it. So.
You see, at first I thought I hadn't heard of it, and I remember talking to Mac because, I'll be honest, Remy, I really couldn't get into this until it got a couple of episodes in, and my favorite character is actually Omni-Man in the whole thing. And I remember Mac was saying, it was Image Comics, and I couldn't remember it, and then I remembered when I saw the cover of Invincible, and the comics, I was like, oh man, I remember this. So yeah, it took me a while to get into it, but I'll tell you when it got me as we go.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we go through what happens in the first one. You know what I'm saying? You start to learn that things are not what they seem and all that. And then I think this is episode 2. With his father out of action, Mark struggles to defend the city against interdimensional invasion, joining forces with a team of teenage superheroes. I remember texting you after that one, Ray, and I was like, dude, I kind of like that one, I think, better than the first one, even though it was awesome when Omni-Man snapped and just iced everybody. That was like an incredible scene. But those interdimensional aliens were ridiculous for me because that was like a Rick and Morty level like of bonkers, you know what I mean? Like how they aged differently on their planet. So when they were coming back, like within minutes for us, it was like thousands of years for them. They were trying to rebuild technology and exploit people's weaknesses and whatnot. I thought that was one of the best concepts in the season for me. You know what I mean? I'd like to see those guys come back. Actually, didn't it show them at the end when it showed all the characters?
Yeah, I was about to say if you like the Flaxons, I don't want to jump ahead, but at the end of the finale, they kind of show like a lot of the villains that are going to be recurring villains.
Yeah.
Throughout Mark's journey, and the Flaxons are one of them. Some of them survived Omni-Man's rampage, which
that's cool.
Yeah, that season was awesome. I mean, that ending was awesome.
And so at first, their conquest of Earth was like it's kind of just what they did. Now they have a grudge against Mark and Nolan.
Yeah, and Omni-Man. Fire. Now, I thought they were the dude with the scar on his eye, and like they came back with the robot. Like how they just kept coming back. I'm like, dude, that's a great concept. I definitely want to see more of the Flaxons. I thought it was dope. I don't know what the rest of you guys thought about that one.
Yeah, def.
No, I mean, like I said, like all like the first episode and all that, man. I mean, this is pretty much a great introduction to it. Just like a great startup. Mark Grayson, discovering his new power. Omni-Man, who was pretty much, as you can see, like he was just afraid of, like he didn't really realize. It seemed like he didn't really realize, like he was like he wouldn't even get his power too early like that. But him being half human and half I forgot what planet. What is he from? Viltrum.
Viltrum,
yeah. Like just being half of that alien bloodline and half Earth, and just like gaining his powers so quickly like that. To me, I feel like that's just a feeling of things to come right there, like if he's able to advance that fast or whatever. I'm not saying it's gonna be like Dragon Ball Z, half human, or he got his power so quickly, he's gonna advance the level before that. But it is something.
Right.
It's really a thing to come though, like I don't know, I think it may be just too early to tell, but it's so far so good. It was a great introduction.
Hell yeah, man.
No, they are gonna play with the theme of like what it means to be half Viltrumite and half another race. Not just in Mark's case, but also with other people, and how people of Viltrum perceive them, and the kind of dichotomy they have with their race and like their whole superiority complex.
Yep.
Yeah,
and the duality of being a hybrid for sure. Definitely epic. if you guys don't have any more, we can jump on. So season episode 3, there's stuff I like about it. Of course, Mars is awesome every time you see it, but so I like that backdrop and like what he was doing, as you know, how the that agency tried to play him to send him out there to see like what he was capable of. Blah blah blah. However, missing the date with his girlfriend, I got to be honest with you, Ray. Some of those story arcs of like just him and his girlfriend going on dates and just. It definitely slows down the pace, like, and I obviously know why he did it because every story has that, but it's just like
I think
weird at times.
I think it was good to show that just because it shows how difficult it is living a sequence, living a life as a superhero, but then at the same time, try to live a life as a human being.
I hear you, but Marvel and DC are both like 70 years old, so I think we've all seen the story.
And I think the problem with that is she starts off pretty cool, and then. In the later episodes, you're like, oh man, she's annoying. She's annoying.
So annoying.
Yeah.
And some of
that she becomes annoying, and then
I gotta take a page on a Ray's book because the way that you guys critique anime is like how us three critique like movies and TV, and some of the dialogue is up and down, dude, and especially in those dating sequences.
Yes.
Those are the downs.
So what I would say is Amber in the animated series is very annoying. So I think what they tried to do was valiant, right? So Kirkman came out and he said a lot of the things he wished he could have did with the comic, the things that he wished he would have fleshed out more when he wrote it originally, because he was on that time crunch and he was working on Walking Dead at the time. He couldn't do that. So he wanted to give Amber more development because Amber, like, she's a lot more like cool and more with the flow in the comics, but a lot of people find her character to be flat. So I think what they were trying to do was insert more life into Amber, but in turn made her unlikable and kind of annoying. But those kind of risks, that's what it comes with. It was a 50-50. It didn't really land, especially like because to be honest with you, I don't know anybody that likes Amber.
Well,
maybe they can fix that in season 2. Who knows?
Well, there's always that, but it came out in 2021, and it's a super woke SJW atmosphere right now. So you have to have a strong female character to push the plot along. Not that it can't be
too manly.
I just felt that it lost steam. I actually skipped one that Mars was Neil Armstrong, Eat Your Heart Out, but before that was episode 3, Who You Calling Ugly. Mark has to cut a study date short to help save Mount Rushmore from a crazed scientist. Robot deals with action comic as he assembles a new team of world-saving superheroes. So I don't know, that freaking crazed scientist guy was pretty crazy. I mean, I wouldn't say he was my favorite villain in the season because there's like a lot of good ones. But the Mount Rushmore backdrop was cool. You know what I mean? I was fucking with that.
Yes.
But if you guys don't have anything else on that, there's Mars. That's where he goes and meets up with the Martian guy, right? He encounters that other entity.
That was quite funny when he was when Mark was leaving Mars and you've got all the Martians chasing him.
The giant war. Dude, the dialogue's hilarious too. He's like, "Oh, you guys speak English?" And they're like, "We speak Martian." You know what I mean? there's some good jokes in there. You know what I mean? But Mars looks sick.
I thought what was cool about it was like the fact that they have like these face hugger things, and like you said earlier, like it's very Rick and Morty-esque, like these face hugger things. Like the episode to me, the Mars episode, it was good. It was really funny. There was some cool action, and we got to learn more like about like the Martian race, and then like where Martian Man came from, and we got some more on the Guardians of the Globe because we didn't get much on them before they passed.
That's the cool thing about it, though, is I guess maybe you knew more because if you read the books, for all of us, like they just drop you right in the action as they say. Like this isn't like the typical Marvel origin movie where they just go through every superhero cliche. They drop you right in and let you figure it out for yourself.
And what's crazy is the Guardians dying happening at the end of episode 1. When I seen it, I actually really liked it because you spend more time with them and Omni-Man before it happens in the comics. But so you feel a little more betrayed by Omni-Man, and you also feel a little more like sad for the Guardians. But I like that they did this immediately because it's like, oh yeah, let's get it started. this is where things ramp up. Like, yeah, it was a
sure.
cool little coming of age story. Like, oh yeah, what if Superman had like a Spider-Man story? You know, like it's nice, but this perfect. Boom. Now we got so many things going on. People are all trying to keep caught up, trying to figure out what's going on.
Yep.
It's a lot more intrigue.
Yep, absolutely, I agree. The way I was thinking of it is like Omni-Man is obviously like an anti-Superman. That other dude who is the leader of the Guardians, he has got like that Wolverine look to him. So I mean, you kind of have everybody.
They're kind of both knockoff Superman.
And that too. You know what I mean?
Superman Red.
I remember telling VX and Gaz, like Omni-Man was just pretty much like Superman in the game Injustice. You know how he turned into villain in that one.
Yeah. They've used evil like Superman before. He's in freaking the Scheider cut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
like
anyway,
that sort of
episode 5. This one I think is absolute fire. That actually hurt. Feeling confident in his new abilities, Mark risks a team up with a local villain to take down a crime lord while simultaneously juggling school and a new relationship. The crime lord, Machine Head, is actually Jeffrey Donovan's voice from he's from Mass. He's from Burn Notice. That dude is freaking hilarious. I thought this episode was awesome.
Jeffrey Donovan, Burn Notice.
Yeah, you know who he is. You know who he is, Mac.
Michael Weston.
You remember Machine Head? That was episode 5. That was Donovan. Because he had that like auto tune effect on his voice.
Nah, that's nice though, man. That's good that he, what you call this episode right here. He definitely was it wasn't that bad though. I mean, I ain't gonna say it was the best one though, man. But it was.
I like that fight in his office.
The fight with Machine Head
was a big fight. You know what I mean? That was crazy.
The fight with Machine Head was definitely dope. But at the same time, I think this is where you guys were talking about like his relationship with Amber and all that, and how it tries to show more of like, you know, he's trying to show up. She invited him to a date at a soup kitchen or something like that. Like to help her give soup.
And he couldn't arrive. And
volunteering, and he dipped.
Yeah, and he dipped. Yeah, so obviously, like he couldn't tell her the truth about him and all that. So
I don't know how he comes across in the books, Ray, but that was kind of naive how he fell directly into that big dude's plot of like, hey, do you want to come team up with me? And he basically used him to take out his competition, like how he got played and double crossed. You know what I mean? I know Mark is new to this, but man, he fell in that one, you know, head over shoulders, man.
Yeah, pretty hard. I think they did the introduction to Titan perfectly. Titan, and to me, he's such a cool villain because he's like, imagine if Luke Cage was the bad guy.
For sure.
Yes, funny you say that.
Imagine if Luke Cage was the bad guy, and something that we haven't even brought up yet is the introduction of Battle Beast.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And he is such an epic character, man.
Yeah, he is good, man. He was in that fight. Yeah,
he was pretty nails.
He's so crazy, and he just slaps the Guardians around. They bring back one of the electric guys that Red Rush finished off. They introduced like some interesting characters. The Guardians did good at first, but man.
Yeah, I mean, I like that's what I like about those fights, as you were saying. I mean, you get Marvel and DC and the majors, you know, they do such a slow job of like you're lucky to get 1 or 2 villains in a fight. It's a little bit more like oversaturated now, but the way they do in the Invincible universe, it's like you're getting 3, 4, 5 new villains in a fight. It's like for us being new to it, it's just like damn, it's a lot to take in because you're like, dude, this room is getting torn apart. People are getting smashed through the floor, heads exploding. I'm trying to see who's who. I'm like, man, who made it out of that one? You know what I mean? Because they don't got a problem offing people in this show.
see, this is where the show started for me because I found it a bit slow at first, and it's very much like an alternative take on Justice League from DC, Red Rush, The Flash, Aquaman, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But what I liked about this, and it's funny you say Luke Cage, Ray, was because I particularly gravitate towards like that grimy street level setting, And I really like this because we were introduced to this new villain, and funnily enough, it did remind me of Luke Cage, and that's why it drew me in. Machine Head, nice reference to the band. I must admit, I didn't like the guy's voice, his electronic kind of trap style pop voice. I was wanting someone just to spark his head off.
Funny.
I loved it. I thought
was
it was
like,
amazing. I'm such a Jeffrey Donovan fanboy. He could do the stupidest shit in the world. I'll tell you, it's awesome.
But I really liked it, and as you said, Battle Beast, the fight was awesome, and this is where then it really grabbed me. I thought, man, I'm interested in this. I want to see more of this kind of like street level stuff. So I actually really enjoyed this episode, apart from the amber parts.
Yeah.
Battle Beast, like Doc Seismic, and Titan. He is one of those guys that is all you also see in the finale. So you will see more of Battle Beast and his arc, and everyone he faces off, because he's such an interesting character, and he's probably in my top 3 for this for sure.
Nice.
And I forgot to mention this last segment. We were talking about like if Omni-Man is like an Injustice Superman. The way I see it, he's more like, imagine if the Krypton, because I'm an anime head. Imagine if the Kryptonians were like the Saiyans from Dragon Ball Z. It's more like that. Like they just go to planets and take it over.
Well, he's got the whole Thanos complex going on. You know what I mean? Of conquering worlds, as you said. I mean that you see a lot of that in the whole Thor universe as well. But this still has the edge just because of the R rating, though. I still think this is. Like we said, Marvel has some okay stuff when they're like with their 3 or 4 vigilante characters and they're doing R-rated stuff. But I could kind of see the Boys comparisons. But like you said, I still think there's a lot different than the Boys, though. Although the Boys is really dope. This has its own twist. Episode 6, You Look Kinda Dead. This one, when it started, I thought it was going to be horrible, and then it turned up to probably be maybe my top 3 or something. Mark joins William and Amber on a campus visit to Upstate University, hoping to discover a new future for himself. Debbie makes her own disturbing discovery.
Interesting.
How'd this one plan out for you guys?
Okay, so I think it's funny that you get, because based on y'all reactions, it seemed like y'all like this episode. To me, this was my least favorite episode.
Really?
Like where y'all were talking about like the whole Mark and Amber thing. Like, oh my god, I hated that this entire episode.
I thought it was gonna be trash, but those robots were nuts to. I'm such like ridiculous for that cyborg concept of like him taking those people and reanimating them in the lab and then releasing them as mind control killers. Like that was insane.
Yeah, the introduction of the Reaniman definitely it definitely makes it better, and the Reaniman is something like that you see again in the season, and you will see like as the story continues. Like it's not just something that's gonna be a one and done. They are like damn near always gonna be a factor.
Yeah, that's how it should be. I think they're cool enough that they could keep coming back, because obviously
they beat the shit out of the 2 people that nobody else could touch.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah,
I thought those things were crazy, man. Just like we said when it started, and I was like, okay, they're going on a date to college. I'm like, this might be the worst thing that we've ever seen. But even that villain character, like another mad scientist, creating the Reanimator, it's pretty crazy. I mean, it ends up being like it's William's boyfriend, right? That gets like reanimated first, and then it's like other characters after that. Ridiculous.
Oh no, actually, it's the first one who gets reanimated. Is I feel like such a fake nerd right now because I'm drawing a blank on his name. It's not Dan Harmon, the other guy from Rick and Morty.
Man.
He does all the voices.
Oh, sick.
You kind of hear it when he does the little burp. But
I didn't catch that. That's fire, bro. That's Mac's a big Rick and Morty.
This was the episode that Mark's mom discovered that Omni-Man was the one that killed the Guardians of the Globe.
Because of
the suit that he was wearing, and found out
he hid it in his house.
DNA test. Yeah, so.
and I liked that they had her do that, because she in the comics she was just oblivious the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
And even at the moment where it's truly revealed later on in the season, when she's hearing the whole exchange between Mark and Omni-Man, that doesn't happen in the comics. So when it gets revealed that he's the person he is and he beats the shit out of Mark, spoilers, she's just it hits her like a train. So I think I like that they gave her something to do, and like they also just came right out and told her. So I think it was because like I'm the kind of person like I read a lot of stuff before it gets animated, and I don't mind changes from the source material as long as it improves the story. Like that was a change that improved the story.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that for sure.
Like it's either faithful to it or improves it. Yeah.
I thought it was a matter of time they had to show something like that at least. I'm glad they did though. So
yeah.
Along with in Dark Blood too. Dark Blood too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So is Dark Blood the he's the detective dude that was there before she found it, or
the Hellboy in Question crossover?
Yeah. He was cool though. He was cool.
Yeah, he was a sick character. I liked him. Could have used him more. Does he pop up more later on, or?
Yes.
Nice.
He's a factor.
Yeah. It seems like it. It seems like it. Yeah. So no, that one was cool. I was cool with it. We need to talk. Feeling lost and confused, Mark looks for advice from Eve. At the same time, everyone's looking for him. Yeah, I don't really remember what happens in that one. I'm gonna be honest.
So this is after Amber and him have their whole issues, and also William is upset with him because he feels like, yo, if you would have been like not sitting on your ass, we could have saved him for real. Like the first guy, like it's kind of rough out here being gay. You feel me? The first guy I find, nigga, turns into a cyborg.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so they're upset with him. He's doing bad in school. You know, his mom is kind of like on him. Everybody's on him, you know. And he escapes and he tries to find solace in Eve, who has her own stuff going on with her family and their expectations of her and her expectations with herself. And then it's all tangled up. But then, because this is episode 7, right?
Yeah.
This is episode 7. So this is when Omni-Man kills Donald. He kills Donald. They blow up the house across the street. He slaughters the guys in his crib. And they get Debbie into the thing. And I think we missed last episode all the stuff with Robot.
Yes. That robot stuff is crazy. How he's farming the DNA for everybody. That was pretty nuts.
Yes. So so the thing with Robot is good because it sets up for what happens at the end of this episode. Because Robot, it turns out, was using the Mahler twins to get a real body, and it is revealed that Robot is not a robot, but he's a person who can't actually be in his body. For all my anime heads out there, he's kind of like Mechamaru from Jujutsu Kaisen. But what ends up happening is he has to get DNA, so he takes Rex's DNA because he likes Monster Girl, and Monster Girl found him attractive. So, you know, it's kind of weird, but it's also a little sweet, you know.
No, I thought it was dope. I like that concept of using the twins, trying to contract their cloning technology because ever since they introduced the twins, I thought they were awesome. How they come up with those scams to get out of the jail and whatever, and they they just are constantly arguing about who's the clone, and freaking that dynamic is freaking hilarious. I super utilized character, I thought.
And then we brought up the Guardians of the Globe and sort of their echo across this universe, even after their death. We find out that the other Superman knockoff is the Immortal. And he didn't seem very immortal in the first episode, but it turns out if you can put his body back together the right way, he will come back to life. Yes. And also, he was like a caveman, an OG superhero. He was Abraham Lincoln, like the Abraham Lincoln.
He was dope. He was the one I thought that was like, a bit, similar to Wolverine or whatever. But I liked how he came back when they tried to reattach his head.
So then,
with the collar.
So then they're trying to do that, and that sets up for the end of the episode or the end of episode 7, when Cecil's throwing everything he has, the kaiju monster from, like I said, anime head. I love that. And even Mark teaming up with him. Then it comes to question like, oh no, what are we gonna do here? Is this gonna be a scenario where it's like, hey, what if Luke Skywalker said, yeah, I'm joining the dark side? Is that something? This is the type of show where something like that could happen. So you really question, and you want to be mad at Cecil for being like, yeah, no, I can't call this off. This might be my only chance to get rid of both of them. I'm sorry.
yeah. That was crazy.
And then the Immortal comes back, and he's in a rage. Obviously, Robot, being the genius that he is, he gave them fake schematics, so they were able to successfully reanimate him, but they have no control. So now last thing he remembers is getting his head chopped off. So now he's
Omni-Man, yeah.
So then they fight. Their fight's a little longer this time, but then Omni-Man just does what Omni-Man does. And
yeah, he does.
brutally bodies him, Mortal Kombat fatality style, and right in front of Mark. And that's when he tells them, we need to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you get the first explanation of you know what I mean, what you've been wondering about Omni-Man since episode 1, and that's that his race is just genocidal lunatics, and what he's telling him that he doesn't have any attachment to his mother and all that. He was
Called
just
her a pet.
Yeah.
Which is better than the line he gives in the comic. What he says in the comic is, I never cared about your mother, right? It's still a heart-crushing thing to hear from your father.
He called her a pet, yo.
Pet, though?
What?
It's like being a sheep.
Ooh, yo, that was like...
Yeah. It was crazy, man. He's a wild character, man. I like Omni-Man makes the show, man. You know,
he
like
does. He really does. Yeah.
He has my favorite arc in the entire series.
I agree.
Same. It's my favorite character in this season, and he's the villain.
And his arc hasn't even started. This is just plain old Nolan you're dealing with. But his development, man.
I can't wait.
So then we of course see Mark have to come to grips with, oh my God, my dad is a homicidal supremacist. And it's good to see Mark stand up for what he believes in, you know? Because you see a guy like Omni-Man, even if he didn't have powers, you know, this big old buff ass guy, like, you know, and you can't fuck with him, but you're still gonna tell him, like, there's a whole army, a whole planet of guys like your dad, and you're still telling him, like, no, I'm gonna stop you. This is I don't give a shit about Viltri. These are you think I'm gonna enslave my friends because you tell me to?
Yeah.
And they have the most brutal fight. Oh my God.
Yeah, I do like the stance he took on that.
Hey, buildings exploded, grounds got levitated.
Yeah.
Like people thought BVS was cool for like addressing it in Civil War. Like, no, bro, this showed it. Every little move they made. Yeah. You know, whether it was flying, even attempting to save people was killing folks.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, trying to put the building back up after he snapped it in half. And Omni-Man's like, why are you doing that? Like, don't save those insects.
I mean, that really did bug me out though. When he tried to save that one friend of his, and then he's like, "Dad, what are you doing?" And then all of a sudden, he took that guy and just straight up, his head exploded, like just straight up crushed it or something. I don't know.
Oh, and I almost forgot. We get the big reveal that Viltrumites actually, their aging slows as they get older, and they live for thousands of years. Even a half breed like Mark, because Viltrumite blood is just that pure. Mm-hmm. He's almost full blooded.
Yeah. So sick. He's an epic character, man.
The train
broke
scene,
my heart though, man, when he almost killed him. Shit, like
the train scene though.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of crazy.
That whole train that was insane,
best train
man.
Sequence.
That was insane.
Yeah, man.
And about like that heartbreaking conversation. I enjoyed the flashback because the flashback, like, that's something that wasn't in the comic.
That flashback was crazy. That's kind of like what his little origin thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then no, I was talking about the flashback with Mark, where Mark was playing baseball.
Oh yeah. The family one, yeah.
And then my favorite line, and it's a line that everybody needs to remember. He asked him, "What will you have in 500 years?" And Mark's reply, every time I hear it, it's just so sad. He said, "I'll still have you, Dad." Mm-hmm. Like, even after all that.
Thank God.
Yeah.
He couldn't do it.
He couldn't.
It was quite the dynamic between those two.
He was like, Shoot. He couldn't do it.
Flying
This
away
show's
with a tear
crazy,
in his
man.
eye.
Yeah, you guys got to check this show out, man.
Well, that's interesting because to us who don't know, well, coming into this fresh, is there a possible redemption arc for him in the future? Because there's obviously that soft tender spot there. Although this guy Jay is an evil bad dude, but he's got that care there for his son. So can he possibly be redeemed, in the future? So I thought that was interesting because it kind of hints at it.
Like Vader.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because at the end, right before the credits roll, Alan the Alien, another one of my favorite characters.
He was cool.
Alan the Alien explains that a Viltrumite leaving their post is unheard of. That has never happened. So people don't know what he's doing, but they know one thing, and that is that the Viltrumites are going to come to, along with all the other villains that we've seen.
Yeah.
That came up in that last sequence. Oh yeah, and Mark still has to finish high school.
Yeah, that's one of the best how they loop back across all the I remember I messaged you about that part too. I was like, yeah, that was so sick how they revisited all the villains, just all the characters, because even ones that they hadn't shown immediately in recent episodes, or you got a little update on what's going on with everybody, like you said, and then set up their reappearance for season 2. So yeah, bro, it was fire, man. I liked it a lot overall.
I didn't even know Alan the Alien was voiced by Seth Rogen. That's crazy.
Yes.
Dude, there's so many crazy voices in this show.
Oh,
man.
you want to know what's crazy?
It's like Rick and Morty on crack.
They go to Mr. Winslow, like, because the high school the principal is actually voiced by him.
Wow, man.
Yeah, he said Principal Winslow. And what's the name of the school? Reginald Bell Johnson High School, the actor that played.
And what's interesting is in the comic, he actually is the one who's having that conversation with Mark. Like, hey, you're not invincible, right? And he kind of it clicks in his head. Because in the comic, Amber doesn't handle Todd. He does. And he's kind of just looking at the principal like, so I'll do it again. Like, he's a jerk. And then the principal explains to him, like, look, you may be right? You taking care of him may save more kids than you're hurting, but still, you can't just be out here doing, trying to be a hero. You're just a normal kid. You're not invincible.
That's right.
And then he's like, oh, I do like the fact that they change it to Nolan, because I think it means more. And it's more impactful in the end when it goes back through all those scenes and how he has those fond memories of his dad, and then it just slowly gets darker.
I agree. And
we also get a hint of the depression that I mentioned earlier from the comics with Debbie. After she finds out, we get a hint of that. She's sitting crying with a glass in her hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
So another bit of foreshadowing. We forgot to mention how when Eve's the guy that Eve was seeing, that is why she has that weird dynamic with Mark. He was when he was banging all those clones of Duplicate. You know what I mean? So
yes,
we
the goat.
to highlight that.
I showed this show to my dad, and when he seen that part, he was like, "Yo, this show is funny as hell."
I was dying. I was like, man, they really threw that in there. Like, there's like some of those little side notes, or like you were saying, like Monster Girl, and like some of those other relationships. I'm just like, dude, that's like so crazy random. Like this show just has, you know what I mean? They don't even care. I mean, it's like The Boys, but because it's animated, they even take it that extra step.
Yes, and get away with it, kind of.
That The Boys can't do. It's like, the South Park, Rick and Morty level of chaos. You know what I mean? But man, no, I like it, man. I thought it was fire, man. I like this. I mean, so far, I really liked Walking Dead, when it started, but like I said, I kind of fell off because everybody did, because it was too long. But for a first season of this was pretty epic. I rate it pretty high. Also,
man, I said this show pretty much picked up the ball with Walking Dead.
I agree.
Lay down on. So,
I agree. And let me see something, Ray, because you're 14 years old. Do you know who Mark Hamill is?
Yes, I know who Mark Hamill is, asshole.
Got him. I wasn't sure, man. You know what I mean?
I'm a Star Wars guy. I love Batman. Come on.
76 was no. You know your Batman. Oh yeah, real quick on Batman. Did you guys manage to catch the Long Halloween, the trailers or the
Yes,
animation?
and the Long Halloween is actually one of my favorite Batman stories. And you know, they always pull from the Long Halloween, but there's never been like a full-fledged adaptation. So I actually am really excited. You see, I know I'm not like a big Western comics guy, but there are certain characters that I read Batman comics and Spider-Man comics too.
Oh no, I mean me and Gaz are mostly indies as well as Mac, but so I did watch the part 1 of the Long Halloween, just real quick off topic, guys, and it was good, but honestly, I think the book is a lot better. Like the best scene in this animation was the best scene in this animation was the end part with Batman and Joker on the plane when he's flying that plane over, you know what I mean, Gotham, and the end scene was it. So they have the part 2, which will be the rest of it. I think it'll turn up in that, but yeah, I don't know. The only problem is the book is untouchable.
That's a fact. Something I wanted to ask y'all. I know Gaz mentioned it earlier, like a possible redemption arc. Is that something y'all would want to see, or do you want him to come back with the rest of the Viltrumites and wreck shop?
I'll let you guys go, then I'll give my opinion.
Like antagonist or redemption arc? Which one?
No.
Now this is a tough one because he's a really good villain. But I guess me having a little bit of a soft side in me as well. Redemption arc, would be cool if then he helped Mark against the rest of the Viltrumites. Yeah, I guess it's a bit cliche, but if it's well done and well written, yes. If not, and he just comes back with the rest of them as an ultra villain, I'd take that either way. I guess that's a bit of sitting on the fence answer.
I mean, I think at the end of season 1, I mean, it showed like Omni-Man being humanized a bit. So
yeah.
In some ways, I think like obviously he can't redeem himself as a hero, but I think he can be more like anti-hero if it goes towards that direction. You know, and I can see himself being that way. You know what I mean? Like, I made mistakes, but you know what? I'm gonna correct them. But at the same time, him being a Viltrumite and him having a destiny and having a path and a mission, it's all gonna be conflicting. So we'll see.
You see, I like that. Me and VX talked about this quite a while ago. Like Red Hood, he tried to didn't he try to off Batman originally, or was it Dick Grayson possibly? And then he kind of redeemed, and he's got Red Hood and the Outlaws now. So now he's kind of like the anti-hero.
He was through a little redemption.
Go back.
That's actually a good analysis right there. So
But okay, here's my opinion on it. There's no redeeming for Omni-Man. I haven't read the books, so I can't predict what's going to happen. But he killed everybody in the first episode. Has gone on a kill crazy rampage for the whole entire first season. He went to the Flaxlands planet, genocided them. Didn't he genocide 2 or 3 other races? So he's made so many enemies that even if he came back and said, I'm going to right my wrongs, they would all still try and be coming back for revenge. So I don't see any way forward for him that he could just squash it and let bygones be bygones.
Well, what about
doesn't have the attitude to do it.
What about this then, Ross? With that being said, do you think he might follow then his own agenda separate from the Viltrumites on Earth, where he's right? Okay, I'm out.
That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I think it's always better when they go rogue and go renegade. It always makes it more interesting.
Of course.
Interesting. Out of all those people that we see in the last like episode, who are y'all most excited to see again?
It was definitely the Flaxlands for me, but I mean, I like the twins. I like a bunch of characters.
They were interesting. An alien race right there.
Yeah,
I've got 3. Omni-Man, obviously. The dude who was I've forgotten his name now. The guy who was talking to Mark and saying this council of other beings, I guess, wants to meet you because no one has ever left the post. Was it Alan the Alien?
Alan. Yeah.
So
the coalition of planets, like that's a big thing. Like really, this is gonna come down to the coalition versus the Viltrumites. Because the Viltrumites, like I was saying, like it's kind of akin to like Dragon Ball Z. Like the Viltrumites are like Frieza. They just run all that, and there's very few planets that don't. And something very subtle the first time he sees Alan is, the Urath thing. And he's been going to the wrong planet, then he starts to feel regret. Like, oh, maybe if I did my job correctly, we could have saved you guys.
Absolutely. No,
Well,
I mean
you're
that's
here. You can change the tides.
that's what makes Invincible. And what did this come out on Image, or was this Dark Horse? Do you know what?
Image.
Okay, yeah,
Image,
Image is
yeah.
amazing, dude. I love Image. Even
Image is
lots, some of my favorite comics are Image comics, and this is what makes Image different than Marvel and DC. Is those pure characters like Spider-Man could do no wrong. That, like, okay, once in a while they'll throw the little curveballs in their origin story arc, but like in this, you actually see real consequences to people's actions. Like you're saying, like, I guess Mark is new to it, so he's learning the ropes, but there's consequences to him not getting things right, like you were saying, and like Invincible really digs deep on it and makes him pay. You know what I mean? Like you can
Mark
actually
saves very few people if you really think about it. You see, Mark saves not that many people, and
he tries, but
they crack a lot of jokes at it, but it really is true. Every time he tells somebody his name, they're like, "Okay, you're Invincible." All right.
And man, Battle Beast smoked him.
I like to
but
see. I'm about to say I like to see Battle Beast come back in order to see how his arc is gonna end up at. You know what I mean? Like I know that he was hard to beat in that one fight with the new Guardians of the Globes and all that. But this one,
Mark.
Let's see where he goes with this one, because man, I mean he was kind of a tough act to follow, man.
I want to see the Flaxons, the Twins, Battle Beast, and the Reanimen, if they count. And I don't know, it's pretty sick. And obviously, Omni-Man is the most epic character ever. So,
and even the guy I forget the name, who's revealed as who Mark pretty much helps wipe out the opposition, the street level boss, basically leakage. Yeah, I want to see more of him because I liked him
he was
as
dope
well
too.
At street level, because that gave a bit of griminess to it. So I want to see him again.
And it's interesting. They don't give him a name, but in that post credit scene, you see an old guy walk in and he turns into a dragon. That was actually that same dragon that you see a couple episodes before when Omni-Man and his wife are on a date and a dragon is attacking. It's that dragon.
I remember. Yes. I was wondering about that. I was wondering about that dragon. Was sick.
His power. He falls asleep and it turns. That's why his body dropped like that. He falls asleep and he turns into a dragon.
Yeah, no, that's sick, man. There's a lot of intricate details in this that's easy to miss. I could probably even do a rewatch at this point.
They do a real good job at laying out a universe. You have your street level guys like Titan, your planet busters. Those are your Omni-Mans, and there's stuff out in space now.
Yeah, universal races.
Your battle beast, Martians, stuff like that.
Yeah. No, it's dope. I mean, of course, Marvel and the MCU has that as well, but I think it's done better than this, and it's a lot more interesting.
There's a character that's even gonna bust that wide open. Like, okay, you think it's just this in space? Oh no, there's way more.
See, and that's perfect because, like you said, like you start out with Mark. So you start out with Omni-Man, who's like basically omnipotent. 99% invincible. Then you get Mark, the hybrid, and even though he's new, he's starting out like almost way powerful than most of the characters. So like you said, at that backdrop, it's not like, Marvel and these other shows where the main character just God modes through the whole plot. Like they're actually fighting stuff equivalent to them, or like you even just hinted at, even stronger. So when they're teaming up against Immortal and the Kaiju monster, they basically have to work together to kill the Kaiju monster, right? Even though they're like fighting basically each other as that fight starts, you know what I mean? That's a crazy dynamic as well, you know what I mean? So I think more sequences like that, as you said.
Now, the plot killed the Kaiju monster.
Well,
with the telephone lines. I hella laughed when that happened. I was like, oh, that's funny and shit.
But that's what's perfect about this, you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? You probably couldn't have predicted that, you know what I mean? So, show is crazy.
It's really great. I like it. For sure. I loved it. I thought it was a great adaptation.
I thought the ending was sick. What were we saying, Mac?
Now I'm about to say, man. So what's the ratings, man?
Yeah, I was about to say that. So on IMDb, it's an 8.8. You can pretty much see mine out there. I'm at a solid 9. Ray-Bay, you did us good. You did me better than I did you with Wolverine. So there's that.
Yep. And then I actually had a question. One of the only issues I seen when I was watching other people review this was a lot of people didn't like the animation. How did you guys feel about it?
No, I like the animation, man. Thought it was sick.
The animation, I won't be real with you. It reminded me, and maybe I'm crazy for saying this. You seen the Boondocks, right? That show.
Yeah.
It almost reminded the animation almost reminded me of that, but it was more. They looked like they took more liberty with it.
Yes.
You know, with the superhero concept and all that, because
Yeah.
you know how in the show The Boondocks, obviously it's comedy, so
Mhm.
you know it's gonna have its comedic moments, but you know how sometimes they have a little kung fu or fighting sequence or whatever, and
Yeah.
you know it's
They have me being an anime head again, they have a fight in the Boondocks that is like pulled straight from Naruto.
that.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I mean, I've seen a little bit. I've seen some of the Boondocks. I've seen like a few episodes, but not enough to give it a flat out comparison. But
but obviously, Invincible is a lot better. It's a lot more refined and looks like
Yeah.
when it focuses more on story than you know the animation.
I also love the
Along with
music.
it. And the music's pretty good. Yeah.
I thought it was
Oh
dope. I
man,
thought it was
that's
dope.
my only thing. The music
Was
in
it good, I guess?
Invincibles. No, but
you
absolute,
didn't like
but
it?
0-0, terrible. I
Come
thought it was-
on, Gaz.
no,
Gaz
man,
is a
I'm-
punk rock head, so unless
Yeah.
it's screaming grindcore with a distortion pedal, he's gonna turn it off. But
So I
Real
like
punk,
not even just the soundtrack. I like the score.
yeah, no, yeah,
And the
I
sound
agree.
design.
I agree.
Sound design
Yeah,
is
oh,
just
for
like-
sure. The sound
I mean,
effects fire. No, I mean that's
bruh.
sound effects. I like the animation. I mean, but that's the thing. That's American style Western animation, as you call it, Ray Ban. That's what us three watch. So what are you doing here on this show, bud? Because you're the anime correspondent.
Look, anyway, let me get my rating real quick.
Like, why is Ray Ban watching this? Okay, go ahead.
I give it a 9 just because it reminds me of like how back in the days when you will watch Fox and you will watch X-Men and you will watch Cartoon Network and watch Batman and all that.
Style animation. It's just rated R. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. But I never felt that feeling when I was a kid. You know, kind of re-entered again watching this show.
Yeah, nostalgic. Yeah, it's like almost
it was
like
enjoyable.
retro style throwback.
So I'm looking forward
Like
to
G.I.
season
Joe.
2, definitely.
Facts.
So
what was your rating, Mac?
Yeah, I gave it a 9. Definitely.
Nice. Gaz, you got like a 4?
Yeah, because I'm eternally miserable. I have, I'm okay. At first, because I'm a bit burnt out on all superhero stuff at the moment, and I wasn't feeling this at first. I was like, eh. But when it got to episode 5, it said with the street level, I was like, man, now I'm hooked, and it got so much better. It really turned up with Omni-Man. I'm like, no, this is good. The score, I agree with you, Ray, was really good. The music, absolutely terrible. I give a 0. Awful pop sounding stuff. Weak for it. Yeah, but there's something, but it does develop into something for everyone. As you said, there's the street level, the stuff out going in space. So I would give it an 8. If I'll say it like this to folks, if you're a bit tired of what like Fartville and DC are putting out at the moment, and you're looking for something, you want that R-rated grime and something alternative, then I think this is the starting point, and they're obviously setting it up, and it's going to get better. So it won me over, so I give it an 8.
And I would suggest to watch this before you watch The Boys, which is satire. So
yeah, I like The Boys too.
Yeah.
Where you at out of 10, Ray? Do you have a rating?
9 for sure. I loved reading it when I read it, and I honestly enjoyed like this first chunk, because this is about the first, like, I want to say 15 issues. And I enjoyed this like first chunk more watching it animated than I did reading it, for sure. And it's good that you like that. It's good that there are aspects of the show that you guys like that are going to be amplified going on. Like the violence is going to be turned up. You know, the intrigue, the universe, all of that stuff is going to be expanded upon, and it's all going to be a part of Mark's journey and who he becomes. Especially guys like Cecil and the government. Somebody like Robot, who's running the Guardians of the Globe. The Immortal is back in action now. There are things in place on Earth, in space, and within the universe that are coming. So it's
Robot was fire. I was totally into the whole Robot thing, the whole story arc there. But the show's fire, man. I rate it high. Good looks on the Reco.
Of course. I seen this and I said, this is definitely something Ross and them will love.
Man. Def.
Yeah, that was fun, man. Let's hopefully we get Ray back for Castlevania. Give him your links, your promo over there on the Barhat Podcast. You guys are over on what, Twitch, YouTube. I think you're on Spotify, every format now.
Yes. We're on every stream platform where you can find your podcast. Our episodes drop on Monday. We do live streams every Sunday. Every Sunday is the show, but we do like frequent live discussion streams. I'm actually about to do a stream when I hop off with y'all.
Nice.
So if y'all want to tap in, you can. I'm gonna be talking some One Piece and some Naruto stuff. So those are like very like mainstream anime.
For sure.
Yeah. So I appreciate y'all for having me on. I'm glad you liked my recommendation. You feel me? I'm usually the anime plug, but for this, I was plugging everything. And it's funny, I had friends that are like, "Oh, I don't like anime, but I like this," and I'm like, "No, bro. Just because I'm telling you about it doesn't mean anime, bro."
No, I mean, I checked out the trailer, I think, and it looked sick. Let's definitely get you back for Castlevania. Who knows? Maybe we'll have to maybe do some retro anime with you. I sent you some trailers.
Either or.
I'm gonna get up on AOT as well too. I know.
Yes. AOT is something you guys would love.
Because I've seen the first episode, and then like now I've had a long break, so I need to get back and get back on that. Raymay has a crazy thing going on July 17th. What's up, bud? You got a title match on some crazy Shots Fired Battle League, so plug the raps and the music. And
yeah, man. So I'm gonna be on Shots Fired Battle League, like Ross said, the premier battle league out here in San Diego. I'm gonna be battling for the title, for the belt. You know, I'm going and the new. You feel me? So. I'm gonna be that, and then in August I'm gonna be on iBattle. I know Ross knows like that's a pretty dope platform. I'm headlining for both events, you know. So I'm main event Raymay popping out for y'all.
Oh hell yeah,
fire man.
Main event Samurai Roanoa. They're coming at my man with the samurai swords, but once you slice through these next couple of battles, bro, it's gonna be light. So,
people are upset, man. If you're in battle rap, if you're doing anything that isn't like gang banging and killing people, they don't like you.
God forbid if you talk about
death metal scene.
Yeah, exactly. God forbid if you talk about anything outside of battle rap too. You know what I mean? It's I do rap about that. You feel me? But I have a lot more to offer. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I enjoy making content, but I love rapping. You feel me? And so, you know, I feel like I can do both. You know, I can balance it. I have love for both.
Yeah, it's keeping it wide and open, man. And I definitely want to get at you, man, so we can get you on the PXM channel after you've done these events. Do some deep dives, talk about your whole involvement with battle rap, all that, man.
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome stuff to get into. Yeah.
Plus, Gaz wants to see if you can also help him review Fast 9 since.
Please no.
Ray's not coming back. It's too fast.
Watch literally anything else.
It's been too fast for 3 or 4 movies. You can't go any faster.
They need to end that completely, man.
There's no more fasting.
As I said in the last review, man, I mean, John Cena may pop up in one of your future battles, man, spitting his bars, and I don't know how you're going to face someone like John Cena.
If John Cena has the hair that he's been rocking lately, I'm going to fry him. Now if he's bald and he's like, you can't see me, then I might be scared. It's like 2021 John Cena, I'm smoking his boots.
You might not be able to see him, but you know what I mean. It is what it is. But we'll definitely get up on Castlevania. We'll try to see if there's we definitely got to get you back for some more animated stuff because we owe the channel one that actually we all end up giving a high rating. You know what I mean? I think so.
At least we have this now, but it's not anime.
It's fire though. It's fire. So definitely check out Invincible, guys. It's on Amazon Prime. Robert Kirkman, you heard all the voice actors we dropped. So
yes.
Head over to the boys. What best place to follow you guys? Twitch, YouTube, Barhat Podcast.
I'm at the Barhat Podcast, man, on Twitch.
Nice.
On YouTube, on Twitter. We just recently came into a lot of Twitter followers, so we're trying to get it going on Twitter. We got a TikTok, all that stuff, man. Anything you can think of, we got it, man. Like I said, I'm about to hop off of here, grab some food, and then I'm about to stream on Twitch. I figure I got everything set up now, so I might.
Big facts. I'll rock with you over there. I'm probably gonna miss the TikTok, but I got you on the rest of them. So cool.
It's okay. Listen,
I'm a baby boomer over here. So.
I was against TikTok too, right, at first, but then I noticed something. The algorithm of TikTok is like crack, right? I have like no followers, but my stuff on TikTok gets more views than all the other social media combined. And I don't even really
Interesting.
post on there. I post clips of the podcast on there, and I do like little anime challenges, like, oh, what are your top 5 favorite anime? Like I do shit like that, and it'll get like 800 views, and like 100 likes.
Yeah, because it's the only one that hasn't been overblown yet, to the point where like you can't, like you said, with the algorithm, they just get oversaturated. You can't see anything. There's news and true crime and all that on TikTok now. It's kind of wild.
Commentary, all sorts of anything that you're into, you can find like some cool. And there's some badass bitches on TikTok too, bro.
And Ray May's on there. He's doing his battle rounds while he's singing and dancing with them. But anyway, we're gonna get out of here. But this dude has a crazy title match coming up. So follow Shots Fired on everything.
Next time I'm here, y'all gonna see a belt, somewhere.
Hell yeah,
Deaf man, bring it
like
home.
The Ultimate Warrior. But speaking of true crime, go check out episode 2, the Zodiac Files, the death of Ray Davis. Your boy kind of went viral on that, hit like a couple thousand views last couple days. I think some blog posted it. I don't exactly know, but check out that. Like, subscribe, share. Invincible review. Check it out, Amazon Prime, or wherever else you watch things. It's fire, and hopefully we're gonna get Ray May back soon for another anime review, Paradigm review show. We're out. Have a good night, y'all. Subscribe.